Rosenheim, Bavaria. November 1967. Inside the law office of attorney Adam Schneider, the phones are dialing by themselves. The electrical system is registering power surges no instrument can source. Light bulbs are exploding in sequence. Nobody has touched anything. This isn't a haunting in the traditional sense, it's being measured. Attorney Adam Schneider first called the power company when his clients' calls kept dropping. Engineers from Stadtwerk Rosenheim installed recording equipment and found voltage fluctuations spiking far beyond normal levels, sometimes 4 times standard current, with no external cause. They replaced the entire electrical system. The surges continued. The phone records became difficult to explain. The post office installed its own monitoring equipment and found the office phone was dialing the speaking clock, the time service, repeatedly. Up to 40 times in a single hour. Often the calls registered before anyone could physically have lifted the receiver. One sequence was logged at 6 calls per minute. Staff noticed something else. The disturbances intensified when one specific employee was present, 19-year-old secretary Annemarie Schaberl. When she walked down the hallway, ceiling-mounted fluorescent tubes would swing behind her. When she left the building, the activity stopped. When she returned, it resumed. Her colleagues had started keeping informal notes. Physical objects began moving. Framed pictures on the walls rotated up to 320 degrees on their hooks. This was captured on 8mm film by investigators. A heavy oak cabinet moved away from the wall. Drawers opened without contact. A colleague of Schaberl's described watching a picture rotate slowly, smoothly, while she stood on the opposite side of the room. Word reached parapsychologist Hans Bender at the University of Freiburg's Institute for Grenzgebiet der Psychology. Bender was among Europe's most methodical researchers in the field. He arrived in December 1967 with a team, including physicist F.K. Karger from the Max Planck Institute. They brought their own independent instrumentation and filmed the office continuously. Bender and Karger ruled out conventional explanations one by one. Infrasound, dismissed. Electrostatic buildup, insufficient to account for the readings. Subsurface vibration, the equipment showed no correlation. Karger later stated in his written report that the energy responsible for the physical movements could not be attributed to any known technical source. That statement came from a Max Planck physicist. Bender concluded the case fit the profile of what researchers then called recurrent spontaneous psychokinesis, physical disturbances centered on a living person rather than a location. Schaberl was described as emotionally under stress, unhappy in her job. When she eventually left the office and moved to a different city, the disturbances at Schneider's practice ceased entirely and did not recur. Skeptics have pointed to measurement error and observer bias. The investigators wanted to find something anomalous. Others note that Schaberl was never tested under controlled laboratory conditions, and later attempts to document similar phenomena with her present produced inconsistent results. What doesn't fit neatly, the post office's independent phone logs, recorded before any researcher was involved, showing calls placed with no one near the phone. The Rosenheim case remains one of the few poltergeist investigations where independent institutions, a power utility, a national phone service, and a Max Planck physicist, each documented anomalies they couldn't account for. No fraud was ever established. Annemarie Schaberl gave interviews decades later and maintained her account. The records still exist in the University of Freiburg archive. So what do you think? Is there a rational explanation, or is something else going on? Drop a comment below, and if you've had an encounter of your own, we want to hear about it. Subscribe to WT Historical for more documented cases from the edge of history.